Hello everybody, welcome back to another lesson of the online program. In the previous lesson, we covered half of the first module, which is the Fundamentals of Lash Extensions. The chart behind me and these curls and lengths should be very clear to you by now. I understand that this module can be a bit boring, I know, but these are things that you have to know. If you don't understand the board behind me, you have no business picking up a tweezer and doing nobody's lashes at all. So we're gonna cover the rest of these lessons before we move to the second module, and you're gonna have a comprehensive guide for assignments that are to be posted on your social media. Because remember, we're not only learning how to be the best lash artist in our city, but you're also growing your personal brand and your platforms, so that people know how to find you, where to find you, and what you're all about. So we spoke about what are lash extensions. We spoke about the difference between classic, hybrid volume, and mega volume. Again, if you don't understand this board behind me, you have no business calling yourself a lash tech, artist, stylist, designer, anything. We spoke about curls, diameters, and lengths. So let's cover sanitation, regulation, and insurance. Guys, really important. A lot of trainings don't even touch on these topics because it seems to be such a basic concept, but it's so basic that people are still messing it up. So sanitation, you have to have some sort of product that is going to cover the basis for what the state requires you. Bleach is not enough. So you should be having either the wipes or the barbicide, the liquid, in your room, accessible at all times. You should be cleaning your tweezers after every service. You should have more than one tweezer to be able to work on several clients if you have back-to-back clients. Now, there's different processes of cleanliness. You can disinfect, sterilize, sanitize, disinfect, and sterilizing are very different processes. Now, you should be disinfecting everything regardless, sanitizing as well. Sterilizing is a deeper process. Everything that I'm speaking about, you're gonna find on your, I'm on this is what it should look like. These lecture slides right here. I'm on the inside of the program of what it looks like, when I publish it for you guys. But everything that I'm speaking about, you should find in the tab for sanitation, regulation, and insurance. So make sure that you're following guidelines by your state or your city or whatever it is. It's tricky because not all places regulate the same. So you have to find out what your regulations are for your state, so that if you get a visit by in Texas, we call it the state board, that you pass, you don't get fined. And potentially have to stop working. So you have to be able to sanitize your bed, basically anything that your client touches, including where they're laying on, your tweezers, any product that is not going to be a disposable product has to be, you have to be able to sanitize it. Sterilize it is a step above. There's some autoclaves or some machines that you can use to do this step, but I believe that in the States, at least, there's no need for sterilizing as long as you're disinfecting and sanitizing. Okay? As always, make sure that you're checking the guidelines with your corresponding authorities. But even if you don't have one, and let me just say this from the bottom of my heart, even if you are doing this without a license or a certification, which, that's a whole different conversation, please be clean. Please maintain a hygiene guideline that is going to protect yourself and your clients, because you need it. So if you are a licensed, or you should be, if you're licensed or certified and licensed are different terms, but you should know these things. You should be applying them every day, and you should be protecting yourself and your clients. Okay? That goes hand in hand with insurance. So do you need to have insurance as a lash artist? I'm gonna let you think on it. Think on it. You should. Does everybody get insured? No. There is going to be many companies that, depending on your situation, whether you are self-employed or you work out of your studio or of a booth, there's going to be different types of insurance that you can qualify for. I will leave you what I use in somewhere in the support documents or the files. Again, I'm in Texas, so that's what works for me. Actually I have to change it because I just recently moved studios and I am now under a medical spa. So I'm sure I'm gonna fall under theirs, but I'll share the one that I was using when I was solo in a studio. So that's sanitation, regulation, and insurance. Basically, for sanitation purposes, make sure that everything, including the bed that your clients are laying on, if you can be sanitized properly. If you're using blankets, you're throwing those out, you're throwing those in a dirty bin, and then replacing them for every client that you're seeing. There cannot be any porous surfaces anywhere that your client is touching because they become contaminated. If you can't properly sanitize it, then you can't have it in your studio. Think of that. So tweezers, you should be dipping them in your barbicide. And also, I go a step above and have barbicide wipes. I love them. I don't like air drying my tweezers, so I'll soak them. I'll take them out, wash them, rinse them, dry them, and then I'll wipe them with the barbicide wipe. Is it too extra? Probably, but I prefer it to be that way. Regulations, check with your state. I cannot give you an answer as to what your regulations are going to be. That just depends on where you're located. And insurance goes hand in hand, because if you are regulated in some sort by the government, and you should be sanitizing your area, those go hand in hand with what type of insurance you qualify for or that you need to have in order to be safe. Okay, so picking your products. I want to talk about this one real quickly. So in the past, there was an idea, and I'm talking like in the past, like in the last 10 years, because the lash industry has grown so much, right? Before, it used to be if a product is too affordable, then it's most likely cheap in quality. That's no longer applicable in today's lash industry. And I'm gonna tell you why. The lash industry has grown so much. Now you have suppliers everywhere, vendors everywhere, people selling their suppliers and vendors list. You can find these products anywhere. You can find them for a very high price, or you can find them for a very affordable price. That does not reflect on the quality of the product. Let me say that again. The price of the product does not reflect on the quality of the product. Why? Because you can spend a lot of money on a product that is absolute shit. Trust me, I've been there. Or you can spend a reasonable amount of money and the product seems to be really freaking good. I used to tell students when I started teaching years ago, like, hey, let's please invest in our products. Don't cut corners. If you want to get a product that is too expensive, then, you know, make the investment, save up for it, get it. It's worth it. Now, you can literally get lash trays for $1 and they're gonna be the best lash tray you've ever had. And then you're gonna go with a company that's been established since 2015 and their lash trays are like $27 and they're trash. So picking your product is a process of elimination almost, where you're gonna have to be trying things out. Remember that you are the only person that dictates what's the style that you're gonna be putting out. Oh, girl, this hair. And only you can dictate what that's gonna look like. Also, while I'm speaking on that, every product that you're choosing to use will also dictate your way of working. Because if you're using shit tweezers or shit lash trays, it's going to reflect in your work, because maybe you're not able to really fan the lashes as you were wanting to fan them. You're not able to work and give your best if you don't have the product that works for you, if that makes sense. I have had many students think that they absolutely suck in what they're doing and they give up and throw in the towel, when in reality, all they needed to do was just switch tweezers. It's not a you problem. Sometimes it's your tweezer. Sometimes it's the lash trays. Sometimes it's the adhesive that is not working with you. It's not always you. Sometimes maybe it is you, but not always. So keep that in mind when you're working with something that you're like, I cannot for the life of me create a fan. The product might not be for you, okay? Let's see, lash anatomy, super important. If you don't have the knowledge that I'm about to speak on, please take some notes. Please rely on the supporting document that I have attached on this lesson, because you're gonna want to know this no matter what. Again, this is gonna be kind of like the chart that is behind me. You have to know all of these things in the back of your head as you're creating a style. And maybe it's gonna be like, oh my god, it's too much, I can't keep up with everything, but I promise you it gets easier. Sometimes with time you don't even think about it anymore. So anagen, catagen, and telogen, I want to draw it, but actually let's refer to the image in your book. Or no, actually, what's behind here? Well, I can just show you actually. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so anagen, catagen, and telogen. These are the stages that your hair goes through, including your lashes. So every single hair on your body goes through these stages: anagen, catagen, and telogen. This is going to be your supporting documents inside the program. Which stage are we going to avoid lashing? Do you know? Personally, I'm gonna stay away from the anagen stage because, hear me out, this is maybe an unpopular opinion, or not every single lash artist is going to agree with this, but I don't like to lash anagen lashes because this is what is commonly referred to as baby lashes. I don't like lashing anagen lashes because I think they're not strong enough to receive the lash extensions, okay? So, controversial opinion, don't lash anagen lashes. Why? Just give them some time. Give them time to grow a little bit longer and get a little bit stronger, get more body on them. You are most likely going to be weighing down, and here comes everybody on the internet. I lash anagen lashes all the time. It's never a problem. I've been lashing since 1972. Shut up. I don't care for it, and let me dive deeper into it. If you feel the need to lash the anagen lashes, ask yourself why. Why? Because a lot of the times this idea of you have to lash the anagen lashes comes from the old school idea of we have to lash every lash. That's not true. Get that out of your head. Get it out. You don't have to lash every lash. You most certainly don't have to lash every anagen lash. If you think that you're cheating your client because you're not lashing every single lash and that drives you to lash the anagen lashes, talk to me, because we're gonna get that thought out of your head. You should be skipping anagen lashes to let them grow, let them get more body on them, wait for them to be a catagen or a telogen, which, you know, they're grown lashes. They've gone through the cycle and they're ready for a spike, a volume fan, or a classic lash. And here's how you can break the rule. If you must lash an anagen lash, is because maybe your client doesn't have that many lashes and you're like, well, I can't really give her the look that she wants me to give her, whether it's classic, volume, hybrid, whatever it is, because she doesn't have that many lashes, so I have to lash anagen lashes. Okay, fine. But at that point, should that client even be getting lash extensions? I'm just saying, if you feel as a lash artist that you have to lash every single lash and that you have to lash the anagen lashes, why? And should that client even be your client? Because if not, send them to lash rehab. They probably shouldn't be getting lash extensions anyway. Moving over to organization systems. I share with you, I'm looking around to see if I have mine here. I'm at home. I probably have it in my car actually, because I'm moving studios. Oh, you know what? Maybe I have one. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Yes, I have it. Okay, I actually have 2 of these, and they became so popular. This organization system went so viral. I think it has almost 5 million interactions across my platforms. You guys loved it. I will say I have moved on from this organization system, and I've done a digital version of it now, but I still use these cases. So in my organization system lesson, I teach you that you have to be organized in the way that you're lashing. You can't just have one tile for everybody. That doesn't work. Also, it's not sanitary, and you're gonna be doing the same look on everybody. How are you gonna keep track of who's wearing what curl, what diameter, what technique? Too much. You don't need to keep track of all that in your head. You can write it down, or you can put it in a digital version, so that you can do better for your clients. So here you go. This is my original organization system. Let's look inside, see if well, these I was cleaning out, so they don't have everything that I typically would have in them, but I'm still gonna show you. So if a client came in, I have their names written on there, and what is inside is an information card. Okay, so I have the cards of what I'm gonna be doing on that client. I wrote it down. Whether I'm doing 0.03, 0.05, am I doing a B curl, a CC curl, an L curl, am I doing a natural eye, a modifier round, a cat eye, what style am I doing? I'm writing notes. So this way I can keep track of exactly what it is that I'm doing on my client. Now I also have some individual personalized palettes that look like this. Okay, let's get closer. This is what they look like. And this way I'm able to keep, okay, I have 9mm, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in 0.07, and then I have 12s and 14s in 0.03 for spikes. This way you're going to be saving time. When your client comes in, you already are ready to go. You know what to do. You are creating consistency for your clients, and they notice these things. You know, they're like, my clients actually love it that I have a little case for them specifically, because these little things, they matter. You know, they'll notice it. So you don't have to have this organization system for yourself. You don't have to have it specifically what I have, but you should have something. Whatever system you choose to come up with, that's entirely up to you. I gave you all of my tools and supplies in the supporting documents inside of the Facebook group on where to get all the stuff that I just showed you, including the case, the cards, the tiles, the spoolies, the lip applicators, and the iPads. So there it is. Last thing that we're gonna speak about is contraindications. I'm not gonna go through every single contraindication that you should know about, because there's so many, but let me just put you at ease with this. Most contraindications are very obvious, okay? So in my almost 10 years of lashing, a contraindication that has walked through the door would be a client that has very visible irritation in their eye area. You know, I'm not gonna lash you if you seem to have pink eye. I'm not gonna lash you if you seem to have lash mites. I'm not gonna lash you if, even if I consider something that may be affecting, non-related to lash extensions, but just affecting the eye area in general, that's worth a rescheduling. Contraindications should be taken seriously, because you might make the whatever condition is going on worse. So that's what you want to stay away from. Make sure that you're reading through the list that I provided of what contraindications are. And again, if somebody has a very heavy contraindication for lash extensions, the most likely what's gonna happen is that they're not coming in for lash extensions. Keep in mind that anything that is done in the eye area or even on the face can be a contraindication, including but not limited to medically aesthetic procedures like chemical peels, lasers, Botox. Huge contraindication. If a client just got Botox before coming to see you and they try to lay down and you lash them, the Botox can and will move, and it can potentially make their eye droopy, paralyze a part of their face that they weren't trying to paralyze. So be mindful of what contraindications are, how they can affect your client and yourself, because a lot of these are gonna, again, we spoke about insurance. If you don't have insurance, you might be in trouble. And if you do something that is not covered in your consent forms, including contraindications, you might get yourself in trouble. So make sure that you are knowledgeable, that you're reading through everything that I'm providing for you. That's the majority of the first module covered for now. I'm going to request that you guys complete at least one of the assignments in the comprehensive guide at the very end of the module. Again, this is only beneficial for you because the comprehensive guide, what it's doing is growing your social media presence. So it really is just helping you. And I just want to see that you're understanding what I'm trying to teach you. These videos are a form of a lecture to go hand in hand with the documents that I have posted on the online program. Everything's beneficial to you. I would love for you guys to give me some feedback on how you're learning. If you're not quite getting something, if you need a specific lesson discussed, I'm more than happy to do that. I'm posting little sneak peeks here and there on social media, but these lessons are exclusively for you inside of the program. So enjoy them, dissect them, and really take advantage of them. As always, you can reach me via email or DM, but prefer to be email just because it's a more direct way to get in touch with me. I would love, please, some feedback on what you've learned so far, and I cannot wait to see, and make sure that you're tagging me, see your responses on the assignments that I'm posting so that you can be better, so that I can repost you and we can start creating some traction on this program and of every single one of you being a black market member. Okay, thank you so much. Go through everything that I have provided for you, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.